Honda starting lineup against the lefties. Carson Bench gets just his second start against the left-hander in his rookie season. And Austin Slater bats third. You know, this is the Mets' 40th game, and Austin Slater is the 10th different player the Mets have batted third in the order.
Well, they don't have a third hitter, Gary.
Well,
that's what the problem.
They do every day. It's just somebody different.
Well, there's Eduardo Rodriguez. The 6'2", 231 pounds, 33-year-old Venezuelan, and he, as we mentioned in the open, pitched a gem against the Mets at Citi Field. 6 innings, 1 run. The only blemish was a solo home run off Luis Roberts' bat in the first inning. Last start against the Pirates, 7 2-hit shutout innings. He is nasty. 19-game winner back in 2019 with the Red Sox. And the Mohegan Sun D-back defense, Barossa, Carroll, they can play. They can go get him out there. They got good coverage. The young rookie coming up. This will be his first start in left field. And Ryan Waldschmidt. You got Arenado down there. That's a lot of stars, a lot of gold, a lot of platinum. Great fielder. And there's Mendy.
Waldschmidt, the rookie, played center field yesterday and had 8 putouts. The Mets kept hitting the ball to center field, and he kept catching the ball. Good to see Torey Lovullo in the dugout. He was feeling sick this morning. They were not sure he was going to manage today, but he got some fluids, and here he is. Looking a little peaked, but he'll be okay.
They never gave me fluids when I was sick, and I ran out there and played.
Why did they not give you fluids? Did they not like you?
Well, we weren't as advanced back then.
They hadn't discovered water yet? You are old. Juan Soto leads off, DHing today after playing the first 2 games of the series in left field. And you'll see all the players displaying the pink today on Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. And Soto attacks the first pitch. It's it out to right field, but Carroll should have room at the edge of the warning track. And he's got it. Soto, who had a leadoff home run in Colorado, tried for another one on the first pitch, but came up a little shy. 1 out.
He jumped on the first pitch, and that's been what's happening with Juan of late. It's a lot of balls in the air and really swinging for the downs.
Here's Bo Bichette, who's got a couple of home runs in his career against Rodriguez. 0 for his last 12. And he takes fastball down for ball 1. When Eduardo has had trouble this year, it's usually in the first inning. As Keith mentioned, Luis Robert got him for a first inning home run in New York. His first inning ERA is 5.14, the highest of any of the innings he's pitched this year.
And another guy, folks, that is not 100 mile an hour, 95, 98 mile an hour of blazing hard baller. He knows how to pitch. Got a great changeup, as Gary mentioned. Pitches up, down, in, out.
Mets went 1 for 9 against his changeup the first time around. Throwing fastballs to start this one.
He's got a nice, sorry, Gary. He's got a nice, easy motion, beautiful motion, very, very fluid motion.
Those numbers for Bichette against Rodriguez, who last year and the year before ERA over 5. Fly ball out to right. Another chance for Carroll. Right there waiting. 2 out. 2 batters, 2 fly balls to right, 2 out.
Mets are 1-8 against left-hand starters this year as the team against lefties, hitting .219, and in those 9 games they've only scored 19 runs, Gary.
Here's Austin Slater, who's off to a good start as a Met. 5 hits and 12 at bats. This is his 3rd start, and he's playing today in a ballpark where he's always fared well. He's played a lot here, but remember he came up with the Giants. 29 games in this ballpark. Slater has an OPS of 1,048, so he has thrived in the desert. He takes the first fastball down for ball 1. There are the numbers that Keith cited. His lefty starters this year.
I gave him 6 points on the batting average.
Well, the overall is 219 because they've done better against lefty relievers.
Okay.
Slater's a guy who's always hit left-handers. It's one of the reasons the Mets got him. Carlos Mendoza has he and Andy Ibanez in the lineup again against the lefty. Changeup taken down, 2 balls and a strike. Mark Vientos would be next. That's it out to center field. Over in the gap goes Barossa. He's got it. 3 fly balls for Rodriguez, and the Mets are out 1-2-3. Well, Huáscar Brazoban is going to open for the second time on this road trip, and as he did in Colorado, he did not come into the dugout before the game as starters normally do. He ran in from the bullpen, where he feels more comfortable.
He has been good in this role too, Garrett. I don't want to step on here, Garrett. Go ahead, give him the lineup.
Oh, you can do it if you want.
Oh, okay.
Hyundai starting lineup. Go ahead, Keith.
All right, Marte leads off. Corbin Carroll, of course, hitting second. Perdomo, Del Castillo DHing. Vargas leading the league in hitting, got the big hit yesterday. And then you got Arenado, who's red hot there. James McCann gets a start in the 7th hole. Barossa in center. And the young Waldschmidt, his first start in left.
That was very comprehensive, Keith.
Well, I didn't have to go that deep. Oh, there's the Toyota numbers for Huáscar, and he has been wonderful as an opener. And he has just been brilliant this year in relief as well. He's just has been a wonderful addition to this ball club. And the card shield Mets defense. Slater.
Do you need a break here? Because I can do the defense.
No, I got it. First start at third base. Gary, you sit down. Sit down. Slater gets his first start in left. He's had 2 in right. Taylor in center. Benj out in right field. Banez gets the start today at third base because of the left-hander. We've got sitting down Beatty as well as Melendez.
Ketel Marte leads off for the Diamondbacks. Sat out the first game of the series ill. Came back yesterday, went 1 for 4, and he takes a first pitch strike from Brazoban. Marte, though, has really struggled lately. 3 hits in his last 30 at-bats. He's one of the star players in baseball, one of the most underrated talents, but he is off to a rocky beginning to his season. There's the good changeup by Brazoban. It's 0-2.
He's got the big leg kick, Gare. He's a very rhythmic hitter. You can get him with off-speed stuff when his timing is not there. He tends to chase.
Holmes got him lunging at curveballs and changeups yesterday. Boy, Clay Holmes was great again.
Wasn't he?
Clay has now made 8 starts this year. He's allowed 2 earned runs or less in each of the 8 starts. He's the first Met pitcher to do that ever in his first 8 starts of a season. 1-2 coming to Marte, and he just got a piece of that sinker to stay in the at-bat.
Well, I haven't said it yet, so all you moms out there, happy Mother's Day. I know Gary's already said it. Now it's my turn. I don't want to be left out.
And grandmoms and stepmoms.
Yeah.
And all other mom figures. You all get kudos. 1-2 coming. And the changeup down. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Corbin Carroll on deck, then Geraldo Perdomo against Brazoban. This is the 5th time in his career now that Brazoban has served as an opener. In the first 4, he's thrown 5 innings and not given up a single hit. count to Marte.
Well, we'll see 3-2 if he wants to try to sneak one inside. All these changeups. The stats don't lie. He's
and Marte just got a piece of that changeup to stay on the at bat. Alvarez going very seriously with the pink today. Excuse me, Torrens behind the plate. Very, very decked in old pink.
like a carnation.
And Marte able to foul off another changeup. So he's been going out of the strike zone and keeping the at bat alive.
What was that Marty Robbins song? A white sport coat and a pink carnation?
Not sure I'm familiar with that.
I remember that song. It was a big hit in the 60s.
Which 60s?
Oh,
like
well.
the 1860s?
No, it was the ball
That's
four.
Ball four, and Marte's on with a leadoff walk.
On the Country Western hit board. Okay, he got ahead and lost him.
So Marte is aboard, not Corbin Carroll. He's 2 for 7 in this series. Carroll has been killing left-handed pitching this year. He's hitting .417 against lefties.
Yes.
He's hitting under .200 against righties.
20 for 48, Garrett. 4 doubles, 3 triples, and a home run.
And Carroll rolls over one down to first. Vientos will have to take the play to first base and gets the out as Marte moves up to second. You keep that one. I'm going to get a new one.
Well, look at that.
Got the pink, got the sunflower, daisy. It's got all those bases covered.
Boy, that would have been vogue in the late 60s.
It's got his mom's name there. Here's Geraldo Perdomo, 1 for 8 in this series. Bluffing at a bunt, takes a strike on the inside edge. Perdomo, one of 4 switch hitters in the lineup for the Diamondbacks today. And he rolls one to second base. Easy for Semien, 2 out, and over to third goes Marte. So a walk and 2 ground outs. Runner at third with 2 down. Now the cleanup hitter Adrian Del Castillo is DHing for the 3rd straight day in this series.
He's off to a really tough start. Left-handers 1 for 11, and they got him hitting in the cleanup spot.
He was on base 3 times yesterday, hit a long double that just eluded Carson Bench at the right center field fence, and then he walked twice. Torrens able to block that pitch to prevent a run from scoring.
Now, Torrens is really a quality defender, and there's no way you can get in front of that ball, particularly if you're on the one knee. Even if you were in the traditional squatting position, that would have been a tough one to get in front of.
Del Castillo with Ildemaro Vargas on deck. This has been a very low-scoring series. Mets have scored 4 runs in the first 2 games. The Diamondbacks have scored 3 runs in the first 2 games.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks have been struggling offensively. As a matter of fact, in their last 9 games, they've only scored 24 runs, which is under 3 per game.
And the Mets are the 2nd lowest scoring team in baseball. There's a strike 3-1. And the Giants have scored fewer runs. Did you see the deal that the Giants made yesterday? They traded their 2-time Gold Glove catcher Patrick Bailey because he hasn't been hitting, because they're so desperate for offense. 3-1 coming, and it's popped foul.
I did not. Who did he trade him to and for?
Well, he went to Cleveland for basically for nothing, and they're going to rely on their young catchers, Daniel Susac and Jesus Rodriguez, who they feel will give them more offense. But that's a shock. I mean, Bailey looked like he was going to be a superstar when he first came up, and he's a great glove. But he just has not hit, and the Giants are the lowest scoring team in baseball.
Yes.
The Giants So the same record the Mets do,
Yes.
15-24.
And the Angels came into today with the worst record in baseball, but they won today.
3-2 coming, and Del Castillo pops on a mile high. Drifting back on it is Ibanez. He's calling all the way, and 2 hands for the out. So Brosbot gets around the leadoff walk. Another successful open. Second inning, no score. Mark Vientos leads off against Eduardo Rodriguez. It's been a very strange trip for Mark. He has had some great games.
Yep.
Like his 2 home run game. And he has had some miserable games like the one yesterday.
Well, non-productive games is a better way to put it.
I went 0 for 4, struck out twice.
Yeah, it's just, I think he's just one of those guys that's gonna, he's dangerous, Garrett. He doesn't get cheated. And when you make a mistake, boy, he can lose it. Remember, he should have had 2 home runs in Colorado in that one game. That was the second game or first game.
Bouncing ball toward the hole, cut off by Arenado, spins around and throws and got him. The 10-time Gold Glover showing it off. And Vientos retired 1 away.
Looked like he had a little trouble with his footwork on the spinorama, Garrett, but he knew with Vientos that he had time to gather. Nice easy hop for him. Nope, that was a piece of cake for him. He put that in his back pocket. One hand tied behind his back. One arm, I should say.
There's Marcus Semien. He's been swinging one of the best bats in the Mets lineup on this road trip. 6 for 17 over the last 5 games. And he's been the Mets' best hitter against lefties this year. He's batting .310 against left-handers. Rodriguez retired the first 4. And Semien hits one deep to center field. Barossa going back near the warning track to make the catch. Semien hits it 405 feet to left center. And Barossa runs it down 2 away.
A big mistake. Sorry, Garrett, go ahead with that promo.
This Mother's Day, join Major League Baseball and our partners in the fight against breast cancer. Visit MLBtogether.com/Mother's Day to learn more. So 2 out and nobody on. Now Andy Ibanez looking for his first hit as a Met. He has driven in 2 runs, both with sacrifice flies, while going 0 for 3 to start his Mets career.
And he swings the bat. He doesn't get cheated. He's not a guy that's going to walk or take a lot of pitches.
And he hits one on the ground to shortstop. He almost stumbles slightly, but throws out Ibanez, and Rodriguez with a 7-pitch inning.
Auburn Jones.
See, this is a nice break from routine. Normally we show the cacti. Now we're showing the cactus flower.
It is spring, and that's when the desert flowers come out.
Ildemaro Vargas drove in the only 2 Arizona runs yesterday with a bases loaded single against Clay Holmes. Vargas, though, has dropped out of the major league lead in hitting, passed by the Marlins' Otto Lopez. But 350 is nothing to sneeze at. And he takes the changeup from Brazoban. So Brazoban working a second inning as the opener. And Tobias Myers is up in the bullpen. This was the strategy the Mets used in Colorado on Monday. They used 2 relievers ahead of Peterson. In that case, it was Brazoban and Austin Warren, but it looks like today it'll be Brazoban and Myers.
And Myers coming off the first save of his career after that outing he had in Colorado, where he got beat on his split change. I just didn't have it. He gave up the couple bolts, but he bounced back with a nice 1-2-3 save.
And a leadoff walk to Vargas for the second straight inning. Brazoban issues a leadoff walk. Something to get around it in the first inning with 2 ground balls and pop up. But now he's going to face Nolan Arenado, who has looked so much better swinging the bat in this series than he did last month at Citi Field. This has been the trend line for Arenado. Last 16 games, he's hitting .375 with a .1078 OPS.
He's got 18 RBIs with that sluggish start, so he's turned it on.
Arenado homered in the opening game of the series. Takes a sinker inside.
Yeah, you got a down and in fastball here, and turned on it.
It's the only run the Diamondbacks scored in that opening game of the series, that home run against Nolan McLean. Mets won that 1 in 10, lost last night 2-1. And Brazoban having trouble throwing strikes with his changeup. It's 2 balls and a strike to Arenado. The former Met James McCann, getting the start behind the plate today, is on deck. Vargas at first, not a base stealer. He takes off early. He's picked off. Vientos' throw, though, is not in time. Vientos did not come off the bag to close down the distance. And Vargas, who had not attempted a stolen base this year, swipes one where he should have been out.
Well, I can't put the blame on. You can see that you're correct here, that Vientos didn't come off the bag. I can't get on Vientos. He's not a first baseman. He's playing out of position. And we've seen it happen pretty much a lot this year, where the Mets have been burned with people playing out of position.
Half swing, and Arenado went around 2-2.
When you are kids at home, you've got to come get the ball. And he did beat it. Not only when you're a first baseman and you come get the throw from the pitcher, you also cut the angle down, because you come on the grass,
right,
and you cut the angle right off. The runner can't get in the way of your throw.
I mean, sometimes it feels with Vientos, and it was true when he played third base as well. He's got such a strong arm, and he believes in it, so the footwork doesn't necessarily match the arm strength.
It's just inexperience, Garrett, at the position.
3-2 to Arenado with a runner in scoring position and nobody out. And that's inside, ball 4. So back-to-back walks from Brazoban, and I think that's going to be all for him. Mendoza heads out to the mound. Tobias Myers will come in. So Brazoban faces 6 batters, walks 3 of them, and will leave with 2 men aboard and nobody out in the second. Nissan, shop nissanusa.com. No score in the second. We'll be right back. Check out the road ahead presented by Infinity. The Tigers have lost all 5 games since Tarek Skubal went down with elbow problems. They've got a ton of injuries. The Mets will be facing them Tuesday through Thursday at home. Then the Yankees come in for 3, and then the Mets go to Washington and Miami on their next road trip.
Well, there's Myers' Nissan numbers. As I mentioned, he did not have that second game in Colorado, but the first game of this series, showing confidence in Tobias, and he delivered this 1-2-3 save.
James McCann, the former Met, up for the first time, tries to bunt, and it's a fair ball, and Myers will make the play to first. Not the way you draw it up, as McCann popped it up, but it landed in the right spot. And he's got himself the sacrifice, moving the runners to second and third.
Yep, not enough. Now runners on first and second. I guess they were not playing or suspecting the bunt because Vientos was back, and you know you can't play aggressively on a bunt this early in the game.
Now Jorge Barrosa, the center fielder. The infield comes in, second and third and 1 out. Barrosa swings and misses at a high fastball, nothing in 1. Barrosa 0 for 3 in this series. Started the first game, came in late for defense yesterday. He's a terrific outfielder, but he hasn't hit much from either side of the plate this year. David Peterson gets up in the Mets bullpen as Myers faces his second batter. That one sails way up high. Torrens did well to grab it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I know Torey Lovello here. I can see there's David getting up now, going to get ready to come into the ball game at some point.
Vargas at third, Arenado at second. And Barrosa swings at another high fastball, and it's 1-2.
There's that uppercut swing, and you're never going to catch up to the letter high fastball.
He's thrown him 3 up fastballs in a row. Does he go higher, or does he throw the split?
Oh, just keep feeding him up there. Got that one down.
A lot of play. Myers looking for the strikeout against Barrosa. And he gets it with a high heat.
There you go.
Stayed right with it. And he gets the strikeout for the second out. And now the infield can drop back.
Well, he's going to have a hard time hitting the high one with the uppercut. It really wasn't so bad that time. A lot of hitters, Gary, in my experience in the big leagues, a lot of hitters just cannot lay off that high one.
You know why that is, right, Keith?
Tell me.
It's the pitch that's closest to your eye.
Yeah.
Ryan Waldschmidt, the rookie, takes ball 1. Miami, you see it better than any other pitch. You just can't necessarily hit it.
You got to discipline yourself to lay off. I mean, young Benj has been swinging at that high one of late.
Waldschmidt 1 for 4 to start his big league career. Had a pinch hit single on Friday. And they got his first start yesterday and struck out all 3 at bats. A 3-year-old out of the University of Kentucky, first-round pick by the Dbacks 2 years ago. And he drives one out toward the gap in left center field, headed back toward the wall, and it's one hop up against the fence, and that'll drive in a pair. Waldschmidt with his first career extra base hit, his first 2 RBIs, and the Dbacks take a 2-0 lead.
This was just a fastball right down the middle. Gary, a little belt high middle. Mistake.
Waldschmidt with another milestone in his 3rd big league game, his first extra base hit, and his first 2 RBIs.
Oh, 2 walks and the 2 walks score.
Those runs charged to Brazaban. First runs he's given up in his career as an opener. And now Ketel Marte That's the first Arizona hit. It comes from the number 9 hitter, but the walks wind up blowing up on Brazoban. Now Myers facing the leadoff hitter Marte, and he catches the inside corner, 0-1. Marte drew a walk leading off the first inning. Grounded foul outside first. I don't want to keep harping on it, but the failure to get an out when Vargas tried to steal,
Yes.
key in the inning. And you know, it's not a big deal if your offense is clicking, but it's a much bigger deal when you're having such trouble scoring runs.
I just think, Gary, fundamentally sound baseball is going to win you ball games. You get up against the good teams and you make those mistakes, it's going to put a hurt on you.
Strike 3 called. Marte does not challenge the call. 2-0 Diamondbacks after 2.
Welcome back to Papa John's. I'm hand stuffing this mozzarella to make our epic stuffed crust pizza.
Epic.
Epic. Hey, we're making you an epic stuffed crust pizza for $13.99.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
There's a world of opportunity out there, beyond the typical 9 to 5, where purpose and grit come together, where the American spirit and
to help you customize your action plan.
Honda Sports Night on SNY.
Hello and welcome to Honda Sports Night.
All night, every night, starting at 11, only on SNY.
CarShield presents streaming of SNY on the MLB app. Stay on top of all the amazing action with an enhanced user experience. Scan the code to download the MLB app today. Tyrone Taylor leads off in the third against Eduardo Rodriguez, who's been staked to a 2-0 lead. And Taylor takes a strike with a cutter, 0-1. Tyrone 1 for 3 in this series. He's another guy who's excelled in this ballpark. Lifetime 980 OPS at Chase Field. And that backdoor curve did not get there, and it's 1-1. So last night when the Mets lost 2-1, their last 13 batters were retired by Merrill Kelly, Taylor Clark, and Paul Sewald. It was the 11th time this year that the Mets have had a stretch of at least 10 in a row retired. Now the first 6 have gone down in this game, so that's 19 in a row. And Taylor goes down swinging on the changeup. And Rodriguez has his first strikeout and make it 20 straight plate appearances without a base run.
That great change, Gare. Sinking at the end, got it on the outside corner, dips out of the strike zone.
So now Carson Benj. Brett Beatty not in the lineup. MJ Melendez not in the lineup. But Benj gets the start, only his second against a left-hander this season. It really speaks to how much better he has been swinging the bat the last couple of weeks.
Well, he's had 11 at-bats against lefties, and you know, he's not going to hurt you. He's going to help you defensively. And he's taking his cuts. I gotta say, he is hitting up slightly above 200. He got it above the interstate, and hasn't shown any cracks. Just keeps fighting.
Over the last 6 games has an 11.21 OPS. It's all on the ground to shortstop. And Perdomo comes up throwing 2 away. So Rodriguez has retired the first 8. And now Luis Torrens, who finds himself in the midst of a dreadful batting slump. Just 1 hit in his last 22 at bats. Torrens has been doing more and more of the catching lately. Francisco Alvarez has DH'd a few games to keep his bat in the lineup. Today Soto is DHing, so Alvarez getting the day off. And with Peterson due to come into this game at some point soon, Peterson's numbers with Torrens behind the plate have been substantially better than his numbers with Alvarez behind the plate. I don't know if David's coming in to start the 3rd, but that would make sense with Corbin Carroll due to lead off. Ground ball toward the hole. Perdomo on the back end. Lots of time with Torrens running, and he throws him out. 9 up and 9 down for Eduardo Rodriguez. 2-0 Diamondbacks. Around the majors presented by MSK. We mentioned the Patrick Bailey trade to Cleveland. The Cubs had their 10-game winning streak stopped yesterday. Blake Snell made his season debut. Today, Carlos Rodon makes his season debut for the Yankees against Milwaukee. David Peterson is in to pitch as the bulk reliever for the 4th time this year.
Yeah, it's as the bulk reliever, Gare. 11 innings pitched, only given up 3 runs. Close.
Behind 2-0 on Corbin Carroll, who grounded out to first base against Brazoban in the 1st. Both the runs charged to Brazoban, who walked a pair to start the 2nd, and Peterson immediately falls behind 3-0 on Carroll. Peterson leaned on his slider much more in his last outing against Colorado, and that appears to be what he wants to do. He said after the game, it's my most effective off-speed pitch, and the numbers bear him out. The league is hitting 135 against his slider, 356 against everything else. That slider's popped up behind the plate. Torrens back for a look, but it's out of play. We talked about the difference for Peterson. If you see the slider and the rest of his pitches, we talked about the difference for Peterson with who's catching him. And it's a small sample size because it's early in the season. But the ERA with Torrens is 2.35. With Alvarez, it's 7.42. And over the course of his career, it's not quite that stark, but still much better with Torrens. Ground ball past the mound, but there is Bichette to clean it up, and he throws out Carroll for the first out.
Boy, Carroll's ball was hit hard, and he almost beat it. He can fly. He hustled down that line.
Did you see Bobby Witt running on his inside the park home run
I did
yesterday?
not.
Oh, he was just flying around the bases.
I mean, he just is out by a half step.
So 1 out and nobody on. Now Geraldo Perdomo grounded out his first time up. And Vientos playing in on the grass against Perdomo on the threat of him laying one down. Perdomo has hit better from this side of the plate, 263 right-handed. Just 210 from the left side. Grounded out as a left-hand batter his first time up. Peterson, for a second straight hitter, falls behind. And there's a fastball in the corner, 2-1. Having got to pitch in his hometown. Last time out against the Rockies, gave up 2 runs in 4 innings and got the win. He gets that slider over, and it's 3-2. Peterson not the only pitcher to work with an opener ahead of him today. For the Orioles today, Chris Bassett had an opener ahead of him, and Bassett went 6 innings in bulk relief, allowed just a run on 4 hits, and beat the A's. That's hit hard, and Bichette has this one on the backhand. He throws it on a hop to first.
Oh boy!
And gets the out. I'm not quite sure why he did that, but it worked.
Possibly the grip. We'll take a look. He just didn't really. He didn't plant. He had time to plant. Just kind of, you know, nonchalantly throw it over there. I think he intended to throw it on the bounce.
Without question, he did. The question is, you know, why would you chance that when you have enough time to just make
I agree.
throw?
I agree. Got to be light on your feet.
Adrian Del Castillo popped up his first time up, and he takes slider for a strike, and it's 1-1. Del Castillo just 1 for 11 this year against left-handed pitching. He's been in the cleanup spot all 3 games. They are badly missing Pavin Smith, who was down with an arm injury. We also have Carlos Santana out of the lineup. One-two on the way to Del Castillo, and it comes up and in with the fastball. It's 2-2. Ildemar Vargas would be next, and a high fastball gets Del Castillo swinging, and Peterson comes out of the chute with a 1-2-3 inning. Still 2-0 Diamondbacks. Well, the Mets offense has not been able to mark yet. 22 straight batters retired. Last 13 yesterday, the first 9 today. Second time around the order for Eduardo Rodriguez. Juan Soto fly to the warning track in right field on the first pitch of the game. And he takes cutter up out of the strike zone for ball 1. Soto just 2 for his last 25.
He's had a hard time, Gare, against left-handers this year on the interstate. And now he's 6 for 34. He's just been pulling off against the left-handers.
Takes that cutter off the plate. It's 2-1. Bo Bichette on deck, and then Austin Slater. I mean, usually he gives away nothing against lefties.
Correct.
Takes that changeup down, and now it's 3-1. Eduardo Rodriguez had a huge year for Detroit in 2023. Got a huge contract with the Diamondbacks. That's outside ball 4, and the Mets have their first base runner.
Well, you see every pitch, Gary, was away, and I don't blame them. I mean, he keeps pulling off. They're going to keep pitching him out there until he changes the program. And, you know, Juan wants that ball middle in, and they're not going to give it middle in until he hits that ball away.
Well, also, they're not afraid of walking him because he is the most potent threat in the lineup. Yesterday, they fell behind him 2-0 and intentionally walked him in the 5th inning.
And all of a sudden, Gare, he's not stealing bases like he did last year. The whole team is not stealing bases.
Well, he had the calf injury.
That's,
so
that's true.
You can
good
understand
point.
why
Very
he's
good
not running
point.
a lot.
Very good point.
Bichette flied out to right his first time up. And until somebody else in this lineup proves to be a formidable threat, there's no reason to be pitching to Juan Soto. That's offense the last few days has been like a waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 0-2 to Bichette. Austin Slater on deck. Soto has 1 steal on the year. Looks a little frisky over there. Bichette fouls one into the netting.
Bichette has really been going, you know, we know that he's an inside-out hitter and likes to hit that ball to right field, but he's been overloaded, too extreme going that way. He just hasn't found it.
Lays off the changeup and stopped it in time. Brian Addison, the first base umpire, with the call.
You know, we talked about it in the open too, Gary. You know, if Bichette and Soto, you know, don't start hitting, I mean, this club's going to have a hard time winning, and they're already having a hard time winning. We're seeing it every day with them still struggling.
Bichette flies this one out to right. Should be easy for Carroll. And that's the first out. Well, they're not going to get any of the injured players back anytime soon. I mean, Lindor's out for the long haul. They're going to MRI his calf again next week, but there's no reason to think he's coming back anytime soon. Luis Robert hasn't even begun baseball activities, coming off his back issue. And Jorge Polanco keeps trying to come back, but he still has pain in his Achilles. So right now the Mets have got to go with what they've got unless they want to dip into their farm system and rush some youngsters. And I don't know that they want to do that. A.J. Ewing's off to a great start in AAA. Nick Morbido's playing great down there. Do you want to call one of those guys up and maybe give yourself another youthful spark? If they don't start hitting soon, they're going to have to do something. Slater hoping to be part of the solution, and he's off to a good start. 5 hits and 13 at bats as a Met.
Well, the Mets, the Phillies won today on a shutout, I guess, of Sanchez. Did not give up a run. It was a 6-0 win over Colorado. The Phillies are now 3 under 500. They've made a big, strong push. And the Mets, Garrett, started this road trip 11.5 back of the Braves, and they're still 11.5 back.
Yeah, I don't think they can really worry about that right now.
No, I agree.
They just have to try and win every series and creep their way back to 500.
That is absolutely correct.
2-0 to Slater. And he pulls one on the ground, a double play ball to Perdomo. Marte with the turn for the 6-4-3 double play, and Rodriguez has faced the minimum through 4.
it. There's only one USA. Jeep, there's only one.
We sent out Steve Gelbs to do a little research on the churro dog today.
Bunch of celebrities, including Will Ferrell, have tried this thing, but now it's Steve Gelbs' turn. I got to put this mic down. I was told I have to eat it with my hands. All right, so hold on. If you guys want some, I can bring it up to you.
Did anybody give you a napkin?
I've got 3 napkins. I'm done with them already. Finished, and I'm not clean.
I have a couple of observations. One is that they did send the churro dogs up to the booth to me and Ronnie. We both took one bite and then threw them in the garbage. They were so bad.
Steve looked like a sophomore in high school.
And that's the other point I would like to make, is that he has aged in presidential years.
Oh, boy.
Tomorrow, Vargas leading off the 4th. Well, we figured because Steve is not here in Phoenix, we'd have to skip the Let's Be Frank segment, so we took you back to, the best equivalent we had back in his rookie season.
Can we get that off the screen, please? That's gross.
Hey, you're the one who shared the dog in Colorado with him. I don't want to hear anything from you. Vargas walked and scored in the 2nd inning. And he takes a slider on the outer edge, and it's 1-2. Peterson worked a 1-2-3 third after Brazoban opened and Myers followed him. Both the runs charged to Brazoban. And a pop up on the infield got rid on the hands of Vargas, and Semion's there to grab it 1 out. So Peterson looking sharp early on after falling behind his first couple of hitters.
Jammed him there.
So 1 out now. Arenado walked his first time up against Brazoban after Brazoban picked off Vargas, but the Mets were unable to throw him out at second base. And Peterson wasn't kidding. He said he's going to use his slider more, and he is doing it. Goes away with a sinker, and it's 1-1. David's now 30 years old. This is only his 20th career relief outing, 120 starts in his career. Of course, he pitched in relief successfully in the postseason for the Mets 2 years ago as well.
Oh my goodness, Gana DeVita?
Iron butterfly?
Yes. They did it in Los Angeles.
Ground ball hit to the left side. Bichette waits on it and throws out Arenado. You know, the original song that they wrote was supposed to be in the Garden of Eden.
Okay.
But they changed the words for some reason.
And it worked.
And it worked great. And the Garden of Eden wouldn't have worked nearly as well as in the Gana DeVita, baby.
It's one of those on the vinyl, the old vinyls, folks, that was one song on one side one.
Oh yeah.
It was the whole side of the vinyl.
Yeah.
The long musical.
I mean, most radio stations played the abridged edition as opposed to the full side. But if you listen to the whole thing,
it's a huge instrumental.
Yeah. Out of Oregon, ground ball up the middle, and James McCann has himself a base hit. Taylor tracks it down. It'll hold McCann to a single. So after Peterson retired the first 5, the former Met McCann, who always seems to find something to help beat his old team, has himself a 2-out hit. And now Jorge Barrosa will turn around at bat right-handed after he struck out against Myers in the 2nd. Myers struck out Barrosa with 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. Looked like he might get through the inning before Ryan Waldschmidt hit a double to drive in the 2 runs. And a first pitch fastball for a strike to Barrosa. Barrosa has done such a good job in center field that the Dbacks felt they could part with Alec Thomas. Thomas got picked up by the Astros, who have had all sorts of injuries, and so he's got a job. Back to a slider for a strike. It's been effective for Peterson. A ball and 2 strikes. about the Brewers sweeping the Yankees in Milwaukee? Bryce Terang walk-off homer in the bottom of the ninth off David Bednar to complete the sweep. Mets will see the Yankees next weekend at Citi Field. Yankees have fallen out of first place.
Yes, they have.
How about Tampa? Tampa Bay's been, their pitching has just been phenomenal. They won again today. Nick Martinez lowered his ERA to 1.70.
A lot of their offensive numbers are not good, and they're winning.
Their pitching has just been spectacular. Always seems to be.
The Braves got off to a hot start here, 4-0. They've beaten ahead of the Dodgers in the top of the 5th. They're looking to take that series in Los Angeles. Isn't it in LA?
Yeah. Speaking of great pitching, Bryce Elder, the start he's off to. He's pitching today for Atlanta.
And Strider.
Strider came back yesterday with an outstanding start in his second start back. 6 innings, 1 hit. Seventh pitch of the at bat from Peterson to Barossa. Bounce that slider. Full count. David working his second inning in bulk relief. Brazovan and Myers each win an inning. Vientos drops back behind McCann, who will be running on 3-2. And Barossa yanks one on the ground to third. Ibanez with the running toss wide, and Vientos can't get the tag on. And Barossa is safe. Ibanez getting the start at third base today. First chance he's had to handle, and he threw it wide. That'll be a throwing error on Ibanez.
Well, we never know what the day's scorekeeper is, Gary. I got my eye on the board up there. They charge it in there as they should. I mean, it is a throw. He's out if the throw's on the back. And good, you know what? Good. The Diamondbacks have been hustling down the line.
Well, they've got some team speed. Guys like Carroll and Perdomo and Barossa. So 2 aboard for Waldschmidt, who drove in the 2 runs in this game with a long double to left center. His first career extra base hit, first 2 RBIs. This is his 3rd big league game. He takes a sinker out of the strike zone for ball 1.
And pretty much straight up in the outfield, straight up on the infield.
Waldschmidt's reputation is as a contact hitter, not a big power guy. He had 3 home runs in AAA this year. And playing in Reno, that whole league, but particularly Reno, the ball flies there. So
that was the old California State League. Now it's AAA. It's A-ball, high A, that California State League.
Throw a 2-0 changeup.
Taylor shading a little bit to just slightly to the opposite field, and opens up that left center field gap where Waldschmidt hit that double, that 2 RBI double earlier.
Grand 1 to Waldschmidt. Yeah, he's wearing number 15. You almost feel like he should be wearing 46. Goldschmidt, Waldschmidt. Would have fit perfectly. So I think they'll probably retire Goldschmidt's number here someday once he decides to retire. Ground ball on the left side. Another chance for Ibanez. Goes the short way and gets the force to end the inning. So Peterson able to get around the error and keep it 2-0 after 4. Statuary outside Chase Field, home of the Diamondbacks, where they have a retractable roof. It was open on Friday. It was closed yesterday and closed again today. Since it's now 104 outside, a very comfortable 78 inside.
I like this ballpark. By the way, we got a full house here. It's a big crowd.
Yeah, they've had big crowds for all 3 of these games. Mets have not had a hit since Tyrone Taylor's double in the 5th inning yesterday, so 8 straight innings without a hit. Mark Vientos leads off the 5th against Eduardo Rodriguez, who has faced the minimum over the first 4. And Vientos strokes one to deep left field. Back goes Waldschmidt near the wall. He leaps and he made the catch. Oh, wow. This kid's career is off to a phenomenal start. Waldschmidt running a mile to get back and making the leaping backhand catch.
He did run a long way for this and fearless against the wall. Top of your screen left. There he goes. Very nicely done. Ran it down.
It's 2 fine defensive plays against Vientos today. One by Arenado and now one by Waldschmidt. And Marcus Semien takes a strike. Waldschmidt making himself known as the big hit in this game and now the best defensive play.
One more time. Had it all the way here.
Rodriguez more appreciative than anybody. Semien fly deep to center his first time up. Marcus takes inside 1 and 2. Catcher James McCann challenges the call. ABS powered by T-Mobile. And it's a strike. Strike 3. So Diamondbacks get a great play. They get a call overturned. And they've got 2 outs in the 5th.
It's just my feeling, Garrett. I know you agree with me. And I think it's pretty obvious in reaction from Semien here. It's just the catcher should be the only one to call, to challenge.
Well, from a team standpoint, I think you're right. I think that they have the better view and the better idea of the strike zone, since they know where they caught it, than the hitter does. And it's borne out in the statistics. So Ibanez rolls over one to short. And Perdomo, the long throw on target. 5 hitless innings for Eduardo Rodriguez. Mets have done 9 straight innings without him. Home fifth inning, Ketel Marte takes a strike from David Peterson. David's given up only one hit through two scoreless innings. He faces Marte, who's walked and struck out, and breaks his bat as he rolls one to third. Ibanez with a quick toss, one away. Hey kids, you can join us in the booth to call half an inning of a Mets game on SNY. Parents, scan the code and submit your child's video for a chance to win the 2026 SNY Kidcaster contest presented by HSS.
Met fans.
Been a lot of them in town for this weekend. They, like everybody else, just waiting for the Mets offense to break out.
You know, back in the day when I was playing, Gary, and particularly when the 70s when I came up, a lot of people couldn't go on, didn't have, afford to go on the road. Cardinals had a great following, but there were people from, you go to Houston, you go to Cincinnati, that would be around the area. Not a lot of people were able to travel like they can today and follow their team.
0-2 to Corbin Carroll. Carroll has been up twice, grounded out both times. Goes after a high fastball and strikes out.
We've seen that how many times in this series, Gary? Guys swinging to that ball up out of the strike zone in the eyes.
Seen it today, several occasions. Rosa and Del Castillo, and now Carroll. Second strikeout for Peterson, the fourth for Met pitchers today. So 2 out and nobody on for Perdomo, who's been up twice and grounded out both times. And Peterson finds the inside corner with that fastball. No challenge, just a question.
You sure? I thought that ball was in. Well, if I was an umpire, I'd say, well, challenge it.
My manager told me I shouldn't.
I'll get a spanking.
Perdomo lays down a bunt. Peterson off the mound quickly fires, and the low throw goes by Vientos and down the line, and Perdomo will wind up at second. Now Peterson feels his position well, but he rushed that throw and threw it past Vientos, and Perdomo winds up at second base.
I think he was in an awkward position after he fielded it. You're right, Gary. He's quick off the mound. Now, is that going to be a base hit and an error?
They called it error all the way.
Okay. Watch his position here. He's he did rush it. You're right. He had to.
So a runner in scoring position. The Mets' second error in the last 2 innings. And now Del Castillo will try and cash it in. He's popped up and struck out today, 0 for 2. Second error of the year for Peterson. Oh, that one somehow missed him. The throw to third, and arriving safely is Perdomo. I don't know how Del Castillo avoided getting hit by that pitch.
That was some serious chin music. Oh, and that ball's running. You move backwards. That's close.
So an error and a wild pitch put a runner at third with 2 out.
Those sinker ball pitchers, you back up, that ball follows you, Gary.
Challenge as Perdomo was clearly safe at third. 2-0 to Del Castillo, and he takes a sinker for a strike. One coming, and a pop-up. Semien on the outfield grass waits for it. Side retired. Once again, Peterson works around an error, this time his own.
Turbo.
Not only has Eduardo Rodriguez held the Mets without a hit for the first 5 innings, he's done it on an incredibly economical 46 pitches. Tyrone Taylor takes first pitch changeup for a strike as we start the 6th. These are 2 struggling offensive teams right now. They've played 24 innings in this series and combined for 9 runs. Taylor whoops one foul. He got out ahead of it. It's 0-2. Tyrone struck out his first time up. Benj and Torrens to follow the lower third of the Mets order against Rodriguez, who has pitched 5 no-hit innings to start a game for the 6th time in his career. Lavella was sick this morning. Probably feeling better now watching his left-hander. Changeup misses down. A ball and 2 strikes. Closest to a hit the Mets have come was Vientos' drive to the left field fence that the rookie Waldschmidt made a terrific catch on, leading off in the 5th. Taylor hits a ground ball to Perdomo, comes in to get it.
Perdomo is a pretty solid fielder, isn't he? He's got good fundamentals. He uses 2 hands, gets in front of the ball. I've seen him enough now playing shortstop. I only seen him have 1 bad game where he inexplicably, I forget what year, a couple years ago, it doesn't matter, where he inexplicably made a couple bad plays in a game. But he is a solid defender.
Corners are in against Carson Benj, who grounded out to short his first time up. And Carson punches one into center field, and that's down for the first Mets hit of the game. So Carson Benj, getting just his 2nd start against a left-hander, becomes the first Met to get a hit against Eduardo Rodriguez.
Well, he gets jammed here. Fastball inside. Oh, he didn't. Yeah, he had to rush it in there, and he just had it strong enough to muscle it out. Take him any way you can get him when you got a pitcher like this dealing.
So now Luis Torrens, who grounded out to short his first time up. And he punches one the other way. That's a fair ball going down the line and into the corner. Benj racing for third. Carroll digs it out. Benj being waved home, and he will score without a throw. An RBI double for Luis Torrens gets the Mets on the board. It is 2-1 Arizona. Torrens had been mired in a 1-for-23 slump, but he does what he does best, going the other way and driving in a run.
Yes, when he's right, he's a line drive hitter. He was set up away, and why not? You got a sinker ball pitcher out there and a left-hander, and Benj can fly. You had to make sure it got by the first baseman. Now you pick up your third base coach.
Carroll missed the cutoff man, so there was no chance to even think about throwing Benj out. So the Mets break through with their 8 and 9 hitters after going 9 straight innings without a hit. Back-to-back hits, a single for Benj, an RBI double for Torrens, and now the tying run at second for Juan Soto. Soto has flied out and walked 0 for 1. In a similar spot yesterday, they walked Soto intentionally after they fell behind 2-0. See whether they have the same approach here with the left-hander on the mound.
Again, pitching Juan away.
And Soto takes the changeup down 2-0. 5th inning yesterday, 2 out, Taylor at second. They threw 2 balls and then walked him intentionally, and then Bichette flied out against Merrill Kelly. Here with the lefty on the mound, they'll go after Soto. And he cranks one out to right center field. It's playable for Carroll. Tagging in second is Torrens. Barossa comes over to make the catch, and Torrens goes to third. So a productive out for Soto, and the Mets get Torrens to third with 1 away. 2 out, excuse me. So it's left to Bo Bichette with Torrens at third. Bichette has been up twice, flied out to right both times. Bo is hitless in his last 14 at bats. Rodriguez will use the full windup. And Bichette goes after a first pitch cutter, 0-1.
Good cutter too, just tied him up.
always an aggressive hitter, but he has been chasing a ton.
Going back in, Gare.
That time missed with the same pitch, and it's a ball and a strike. And so finally broken through here in the 6th. Rodriguez had thrown 10 straight scoreless innings against the Mets before they scored here in the 6th. And now it's 2-1 to Bichette. He gave up a home run to Luis Robert in the first inning of his start at Citi Field, then shut the Mets out for the next 5. Held them without a hit for the first 5 today.
3 straight fastballs inside, and another one. First 2 at bats, Gary. Got Bichette on change-ups, down and away, both flyouts to right field. Changed the program this at bat. 4 pitches in.
Austin Slater is the on-deck batter. And he threw him a changeup on 3-1. So he pitched like he wanted no part of Bichette. And so he'll face Slater instead with 2 men on. Second walk given up by Rodriguez. Slater is flying to center and grounded into a double play, looking for his first run batted in as a Met. His only RBI this year came with the Marlins before he was let go. First and third and 2 out. And Slater goes after a high cutter and misses. 0-1. Slater has 1 hit in 8 career at bats against Eduardo Rodriguez. Each team now with 2 hits in the game. That's the way this series has gone. Slater spits on the changeup, and it's 1-1.
They're making Rodriguez work for the first time in this inning, and he is being very careful with his changeup. He's making sure not to make a mistake here. He wants to get out of this, obviously.
Slater chops one off the plate, and that would be a fair ball. He didn't run, and he's tagged out. Slater thought that ball was going to go foul, but Vargas grabbed it and tagged him to win the inning. Spectrum high-speed hitting today. James McCann has the hardest hit ball. His base hit against David Peterson in the 4th, the only hit that Peterson's allowed in 3 innings of relief. And now the Mets scratched a run back, and they trail 2-1 as Ildemaro Vargas leads off in the home 6th. And Peterson misses with the first pitch curveball for ball 1. Vargas walked, stole a base, scored a run in the 2nd. 2 for 10 in this series. Still in 347. Back-to-back curveballs from Peterson, who hasn't thrown that pitch much today.
I thought it was his down slider. I'm not sure. But Vargas laid off.
It's a sinker for a strike, and it's 2-1. Nolan Arenado on deck, and then James McCann with the Diamondbacks in the 6th. They've had only 2 hits. The 2-run double by Ryan Waldschmidt in the 2nd, and James McCann's base hit in the 4th. Stays outside. It's 3-1. And Vargas yanks one foul.
A little bit quick, boy. He kind of cuts and slashes. That base hit he got last night, opposite field, the ground ball, that won the ball game. Boy, he stays level. He's a line drive hitter.
3-2 coming. And chops one to third, backing off Ibanez. The long throw off the bag again, and Vientos tries to make the tag. Did Vargas hit the base?
He called him
He's
safe. He called him safe. That's another poor throw there.
Yeah, but Ibanez tried to get rid of it quickly and threw it up the line for the 2nd time, his 2nd error of the game.
Played the back hop, that's fine. And he got rid of it quick with inaccurate throw.
It's the 3rd straight inning the Mets have committed an error. One by Peterson and now 2 for Ibanez. Vargas clearly got the bag with his left hand. So a leadoff base runner for the Diamondbacks, and here's Arenado. And he flies one out to center. Taylor has plenty of room.
He missed that one.
Tagging at first is Vargas, but he'll stay put as Taylor's throw comes in on the fly to second base. So 1 out and 1 on. Now James McCann, who's already had a productive day at the plate, a sacrifice which helped build the 2 runs in the 2nd.
There I am looking at that right side of the infield, Gary, with Simeon up the middle, holding runner on at first. I just exposing that right side of the infield.
Flies this one out to right. Bench gives some ground, but he's got plenty of room. And so, as Arenado did, McCann flies out on the first pitch, and Peterson with a chance to get around an error for the 3rd straight inning. Face Jorge Barosa reached on Ibanez's first throwing error in the 4th inning. 0 for 2 on the day. The Mets cannot continue to give the Diamondbacks extra chances. When you are struggling as much as the Mets are offensively, you've just got to be airtight in the rest of your game. And the Mets have not been today. That's lined toward the hole. Base hit for Barosa. Vargas pulls it at second. Just the 2nd hit against Peterson over 3 2/3.
High changeup, Gare. He got it away, had him out in front, but the fact that it was up, it's not where you want it.
So now Ryan Waldschmidt provided the Diamondbacks their 2 runs. Diamondbacks scored only 2 runs yesterday. Vargas had the big hit. Today it's the rookie Waldschmidt who hit one deep in the gap in left center that short hopped the wall for a 2-run double in the 2nd against Tobias Myers. This great catch against Vientos.
He sure did. A little bit off the end of the bat, towards the end of the bat off Vientos. And then your pitchers are always appreciative of defense, and your teammates are too.
Two on and 2 out for Waldschmidt, who's 2 for 6 to start his big league career. And he goes after a first pitch sinker and fouls it off. 0-1. That's 3 errors today. First time they've committed 3 errors in a game this year. Their defense has been awfully good. Pitching has been awfully good. Vargas at second, Barossa at first with 2 out.
Well, the Mets are playing a very deep outfield except for Benj. Benj is the only one who's going to have a shot to throw anybody out.
Waldschmidt loops one to center field. On comes Taylor. Long run in. He can't get there. Base hit. Vargas comes in to score, and it's 3-1 Diamondbacks. Well, Taylor was playing deep. He got a good jump on that ball, but it just dunked in front of him. Waldschmidt has his second hit and 3rd RBI of the day, and the Diamondbacks again have a 2-run lead.
And they got that run back. It's a big run that drive in there. Change up, got him out in front. Look at that ball didn't get by, and that'd have been 2 runs. Nice play, just keeping it in front.
Well, after Peterson was able to work around errors in each of the 2 previous innings, can't quite seal the deal in this inning. Leadoff error, he got the first 2 outs, but then the 8 and 9 hitters with base hits. And the Diamondbacks reestablish a 2-run lead.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, Gare. That was unfortunate.
Waldschmidt, his 3rd big league game, has driven in all 3 Arizona runs. Ketel Marte up for the 4th time. His walk struck out and grounded out. 1st and 3rd, 2 out. Marte in what has been a distressing stretch for him. 3 for his last 32. And much better from this side of the plate. Game hitting .268 right-handed, .186 left-handed. Golfs one toward the right field corner. Long run for Benj, and he won't get there. It's off the base of the wall. In to score Barossa. Waldschmidt will score as well. All the way to 3rd goes Ketel Marte with a 2-run triple. And the Diamondbacks now lead it 5-1.
Opposite field, Gare. Set up outside, went right with it. A real funky bounce off the wall. It just kicked back in. And that allowed the 2nd run to score, the back runner.
2nd triple of the year for Marte. And the Diamondbacks have scored 3 times in the 6th inning. Corbin Carroll takes a knee-high strike. 3 unearned runs against David Peterson after the Andy Ibanez error opened the inning. And Carroll pops one foul back and out of play. 0-2. Peterson trying to put this inning to bed with his 70th pitch of the day. Throws a slider down to Carroll. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
So all the runs are unearned, Gare.
Small comfort.
Can't give teams 4 outs.
And a swing and a miss. Carroll down on strikes for the 2nd time, but damage done. Diamondbacks score 3 and lead it 5-1.
first year from account opening.
Well, twice David Peterson was able to work around errors, but not the third time. And now the Mets are in a 4-run hole. Mark Vientos takes a strike from Eduardo Rodriguez. Vientos has been robbed of a couple of hits. Arenado threw him out, going in the hole in the second inning, and then an even better play when Waldschmidt crashed into the left field fence to pull down his drive in the fifth. Ryan Waldschmidt's had himself a full day. Ground ball on the right side, right at the second baseman Marte, and Vientos retired one down. Eduardo Rodriguez trying to get through the seventh for the second time this year. Certainly has a low enough pitch count to do it.
He got a low enough pitch count. If he cruises the rest of the way and shuts the door to go 9,
which he has never done in his major league career in 242 previous starts. There's Marcus Semien. He had a no-hit bid through 5, the longest no-hit bid of Rodriguez's career. He went 7 2/3, and it was broken up by Marcus Semien. Marcus takes a changeup down 2-0. Today, Semien is flying to center and taking a call third strike. 2 for 9 in this series. Mets have had but 2 hits today. They came back-to-back in the 6th and produced their only run. But the Diamondbacks then came back with 3 in the bottom of the 6th. After the error opened the door. 3 unearned runs against Peterson. Nobody up in the Mets bullpen, so it appears Peterson's going to continue on. And a call strike to Semien. He's thrown 71 pitches, so perfectly capable of going another inning. And Semien takes a strike, and he's going to challenge that.
I think he's going to get back in the box, Garrett. I thought it was knee high. We'll see.
Make the right call with Sterling Optical. See clearly and look great doing it, and it is indeed ball 4. Keith, you've been right almost every time you have opined on the ABSs. I think that's the first one you've missed.
I actually enjoy doing it. Be honest with you.
If it makes you happy, it makes me happy.
I like saying go sit down.
So the Mets have a 1-out base runner, and now Andy Ibanez, who has made a couple of errors in this game. It is first start at third base for the Mets. Now would love to atone, looking for his first hit as a Met. He's grounded out to short in both of his at bats. Ibanez has a home run against Eduardo Rodriguez in his career. 3 hits and 7 at bats against this lefty. Started his career in Texas, went to Detroit, where he was Eduardo's teammate for a year. And he chases out of the strike zone. It's 1-2. That's one thing we've learned very quickly about Andy Ibanez. He likes to swing the bat. Steps off, looking Semien back to the bag. Marcus stole a base in the first game of this series, 5 on the year. Not likely to be running down by 4 runs in the 7th. Ibanez punches one foul, and it stays 1-2.
Notice the high target from McCann. They know that he's a swinger and he'll chase.
Taylor on deck. 1-2 to Ibanez, and he chases the changeup but manages to foul it off. Another great start for Bryce Elder for the Braves today. 5 2/3, no runs, 1 hit. And the Braves lead the Dodgers 4-0 going to the 8th. Braves are 27-13. Ibanez gets one in the air to left field. Waldschmidt right there waiting for it.
Off the end of the bat.
And there are 2 out. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Get Optimum Fiber Internet. Visit Optimum.com for details. By Hyundai. Hyundai gives you America's best warranty on every new vehicle. Visit Hyundai.com for more information. and by Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball. Taylor has struck out and grounded to short 0 for 2. Simeon at first with 2 down.
Rodriguez is just scary. It's just a delight to watch because it's like he's in a rocking chair. No effort, throws strikes, not overthrowing. He is a crafty left-hander.
Really struggled his first 2 years with the Dbacks, but it is back to being the guy who won a World Series with the Red Sox and who pitched so brilliantly for the Tigers before he signed his free agent deal with Arizona. And they're finally getting what they had bargained for. Taylor takes a change up for a strike 3 call. And that'll do it for the Mets in the 7th. Still 5-1. Home 7th inning. Geraldo Perdomo takes a strike from David Peterson, who starts his 5th inning of bulk relief. Perdomo reached on Peterson's throwing error in the 5th inning. He flies this one to shallow center. Long run in for Taylor. Diving, and he made the catch.
Nice.
Oh, wow, what a play. Tyrone Taylor, who had one fall in front of him in the last inning, this time able to hustle in and get his glove under that ball for an exquisite play.
He was playing a lot shallower, and this didn't have the hang time. This is just terrific. He's playing around the same depth. He got a great jump. Fine play.
Standing play.
I'll say.
Really good outfielder. David's happy. We'll get a pinch hitter for Adrian Del Castillo. Jose Fernandez will bat. Fernandez started the first game of this series and went 1 for 4. Sean Manaea is up in the Mets bullpen. I don't think the Mets would be thrilled if David can get through this 7th inning. Torey Lovullo had an all right-hand hitting bench today, and he utilizes it here in the 7th. And Fernandez takes a strike, batting for Del Castillo in the DH spot. Del Castillo went 0 for 3, including a strikeout and pop-up against Peterson. And a fly ball hit to right center. Should be easy for Taylor. 2 batters, 2 fly balls to center, 2 outs. Well, there's nobody up in the Diamondbacks bullpen. Arizona has not had a starting pitcher pitch more than 7 innings this season. But it looks like Eduardo Rodriguez is going to get a chance to start the 8th. He's only thrown 79 pitches. Vargas fouls off the first pitch fastball. Vargas has drawn a walk, reached on an error, stolen a base, scored 2 runs. Even when he's not getting 2 hits a day, he's still producing. Mets have just made too many mistakes in this game.
Well, 3 errors, Garrett.
Well, 3 errors. The Vientos play on the stolen base. Slater not running on the chopper to first. Just too much. Vientos puts that one away. 5-1 after 7.
Every night, starting at 11, only on SNY.
Hey, it's Gary and Todd. Mercedes-Benz postgame live on the way. Going to take a look at what has continued to be here, Todd, a struggling offense.
Yeah, the offense has struggled, and Eduardo's been good, but the defense has really let them down.
Carson Bench leads off in the 8th against Eduardo Rodriguez, trying to get beyond 7 innings for the first time this year.
81 pitches, Gare.
Bench had the first Met hit, a single to left center in the 6th, came in to score the Mets' only run. Torrens on deck, and then Soto as the Mets try to fight back in the 8th. They've had just 2 hits all afternoon. They had just 3 hits yesterday. The last time before yesterday that the Mets had only 3 hits in a game against the Diamondbacks was the game in 2004 where Kaz Matsui hit the leadoff home run against Randy Johnson, and the Mets won 1-0. The next time Johnson pitched after that in 2004, his very next start, he threw a perfect game against the Braves.
He was definitely capable of that.
To the bench with Torrens next. And Bench strokes one the other way, but right at Arenado for a hard first out.
Well, they say they even out, Gary. He broke up the no-hitter. His last at bat with a bloop, and then he hits a line drive right at the third baseman. You don't want to hit it at that guy.
But it's been a very encouraging day for Bench against the lefty, and I think that he'll continue to get starts against left-handed pitching.
Oh, he's got to play every day.
There's Torrens, who drove in the Mets run with a double down the right field line. And he takes that one the other way for his second hit of the day. So Torrens, who was mired in a horrific slump, has hits in back-to-back at-bats. And the Mets have a one-out base run.
That's an impressive base hit right there, Gary. That was a breaking ball down and away. He went right with it. Well done.
Juan Murillo, the right-hander, is up in the Diamondbacks bullpen. Soto's coming up, so this will probably be the last batter for Rodriguez. Soto's 0 for 2 and a walk today, 0 for 9 in this series. Takes low and away for ball one.
He can't issue a walk here with a 4-run lead. He has to go after Juan, and notice the catcher just setting up outside. They have not pitched him in at all.
Rodriguez has thrown as many as 103 pitches in a start this year. He did that his last time out in 7 scoreless against the Pirates. Now his longest outing of the year, having gone 7 1/3. And Soto flies one out to right center. Over comes Barossa. 2 out.
Well, 0 for 3 for Juan, and another day where everything's in the air.
It looks like Rodriguez has earned himself another batter as he gets Soto for the 3rd time today. So he'll face Bichette, who's 0 for 2 and a walk. Rough day at the office for Soto. It's been a rough week. 2 for his last 26 at a time when his team needs him the most. Cued foul by Bichette, 0-1. Bichette is 0 for his last 14. It's just a team-wide affair. It's the second lowest scoring team in baseball. The Giants have scored fewer runs. And here they are with a run on 3 hits in the 8th inning today. Bichette fouls away a fastball.
Ninety pitches. Very economical.
He's walked 3, struck out 3. And Bichette, it's a soft ground ball to second. Marte's there to field it, and Eduardo Rodriguez gets through 8 innings. So Eduardo Rodriguez has thrown 8 innings for the first time this year. Torey Lovullo ready to shake his hand and say nice job, but Eduardo does not want to shake his hand because Eduardo Rodriguez in 242 career starts has never thrown a complete game, and he would like to throw one. And it looks like Torey might give him his chance.
I think you're right.
Sean Manaea will come on to pitch the bottom of the 8th for New York.
Well, Sean's had a rough run, and that's he's basically been relegated to the mop-up here, and he's been having a tough time getting people out.
Last time out was in Colorado when he had to be pulled in the 9th inning after giving up a run and 3 hits in a lopsided game. That's had to bring in Devin Williams to get the save on that occasion, which kind of messed up their bullpen for the next day. Nolan Arenado leading off the home 8th, and he fouls back a high fastball, and it's 1-1. Arenado's 0 for 2 and a walk. McCann and Barossa to follow. Well, Juan Murillo had been up in the bullpen for the Diamondbacks, but it looks like he's sat down. So Eduardo Rodriguez looks like he's going to get a chance to go 9. And Arenado takes a strike, and it's 1-2. Mets in the 9th will have Slater, Vientos, and Semien due up. And if they do go to a right-hander, they've got a stock left-handed bench. Mets will be playing the Tigers Tuesday night. Tigers just lost another player to the injured list. Kerry Carpenter, who ran into the sidewall chasing Bobby Witt's inside the park home run, just went on the injured list. Swing and a miss. Arenado down on the sweeper. And Manaea's got a strikeout to start his stint. The Sports Night comes your way tonight at 11. All the basketball news for you, as well as the baseball. And the NBA draft lottery today. The Nets, for all their tanking, got only the 6th pick. The Wizards got the 1st pick. Jeff McCann takes a sweeper outside. So the Tigers, whom the Mets play on Tuesday night, have 17 players on their injured list.
Oh boy,
including Javi Baez, Gleyber Torres, and all the pitchers. Tarek Skubal at the top of the list. Justin Verlander, Casey Mize. They've got Jackson Jobe and Reese Olson, both recovering from Tommy John surgery. Will Vest, one of their best relievers, and they have struggled. Lost 5 in a row since the announcement that Skubal was going on the injured list. And they're using what they used in the postseason 2 years ago. They call pitching chaos. Remember, they came from way back 2 years ago to get to the postseason, and they only had 2 starting pitchers. So they just threw everything against the wall, and it got them through the wild card series. They beat the Guardians that year. It's called strike, and it's 3-2. In fact, the Tigers prevailed in the wild card series each of the last 2 years. Got to the American League Division Series. They play the Sunday night game tonight against Kansas City before they come to New York. 3-2 to McCann. And a ground ball past the mound. Semien on the backhand has time and throws out McCann 2 away. Nicely done by Semien, going to his right. 2 out and nobody on. Now Jorge Barossa got a base hit his last time up against Peterson. David threw 5 innings as the bulk reliever. Gave up 4 hits and 3 unearned runs. Didn't walk a batter, struck out 3. Lowered his ERA from 6.29 to 5.49. So that's 4 times out now as the bulk reliever for Peterson, and he's been successful in all 4. Manaea misses up and away, and it's 2-0. Looking for a clean inning. Those have been elusive for him. And it's 3-0 to Barossa with Ryan Waldschmidt hoping for another turn on deck. And Barossa takes a strike. Giants have been doing a ton of work behind the scenes with Sean Manaea, trying to get him right. So he's trying to keep his confidence up right now. And he misses inside, ball 4. He first demoted to the bullpen when the season began after his velocity was down in spring training. And now the results have backed up on him. And the velocity still is not there. He's topping out at 91, but on the occasion.
It's a great mystery, too, how he can lose the fastball.
So here's Waldschmidt, big lead for Barossa at first, and Waldschmidt takes a strike. The rookie in his 3rd big league game has driven in 3 runs with a double and a single. Just 23 years old and getting his first big league opportunity this weekend. And I threw that fastball by him at 91. 0-2. When Eduardo Rodriguez takes the mound for the 9th inning, he'll be trying for the first complete game by a Diamondback in 3 seasons. Zach Gallen was the last to do it in 2023. Jonathan Loaizaga is getting up in the bullpen for Arizona. He'll be the safety valve in case Rodriguez cannot get the job done. But he lobbied for it. Ray Lavello had his hand out. He wanted to take him out. Swing and a miss, and Manaea strikes out Waldschmidt to end the inning. On to the 9th we go with the Mets down 5-1. There have only been 2 complete games in the major leagues this season. Sandy Alcantara of the Marlins, George Kirby of the Mariners, Eduardo Rodriguez trying to become the 3rd. Austin Slater leads off in the 9th. Slater is flied out, grounded into a double play, grounded out, 0 for 3. Vientos and Semien to follow. Jonathan Loaizaga getting ready in the bullpen in case Rodriguez needs help. He's only throwing 92 pitches. And he misses with a changeup and a challenge from McCann.
I gotta say, it's a strike. Ooh, just missed. Having a bad day.
That's 2 in a row, Keith.
I don't mind missing when it's that close.
A ball, a strike to Slater. And Austin bounces one foul. All in 2 strikes. Rodriguez's high pitch count this year is 103. Most he's thrown in his career is 117. He's still well under that. Slater lays off the changeup, and it's 2-2.
He's averaged so far this year in his now 8 starts. Came in 4.3 walks per 9. He's at 3 in this game.
And he misses down on a full count.
No, he's got to just unload here. Fastball here, hit it. I got a 4-run lead. No free passes.
More than 17 pitches in any inning. It's got their only run in the 6th. And Slater takes strike 3 call. Oh, fastball in the inside corner. Slater challenging the call. Plate umpire Will Little. And it's a strike. And that's the first out of the night. So each team lost a challenge in that at bat.
I was going to say go sit down, but I can't do it to a Matt Garrett. Just can't.
Each team now has 1 challenge left. Here's Mark Vientos. He's a hard 0 for 3, including a fly ball to the left field wall that Waldschmidt made a fine play on. And he takes a knee-high strike, and he's going to challenge.
I think that's a strike too. I know.
It's the 9th inning. It's the time to use him. Can't take him home with you.
Vientos is off the plate a lot. Got it.
Yep. So the Mets lose 2 challenges in a row, and now they're done with challenges for the day. 0-1 to Mark. And after losing the challenge, Mark needs a timeout. Mets have scored just 5 runs in this 3-game series. Won the opener in 10 innings. Lost 2-1 yesterday and down 5-1 in the 9th today. Mets have had only 11 hits in the 3 games.
Yes, they have.
Vientos carves one behind first base, and that's going to land for a base hit. A little parachute by Vientos to get the Mets a 1-out base runner in the 9th.
So that's the second bloop, and here comes. He's going to yank him.
Torey Lovullo is going to give Rodriguez 1 base runner. And now he's going to make the change. And Rodriguez will settle for the longest outing of his career, 8 1/3. He'd never gone beyond 8 before. And he will exit with a job well done. Reluctantly hands the manager his baseball with a big smile on his face. And a well-deserved ovation.
Sage, high-performance finance software.
For a 33-year-old Eduardo Rodriguez, the first time he's ever gotten an out in the 9th inning as a starter. He leaves after 8 1/3. Leaves it for Juan Murillo, a hard-throwing Venezuelan.
Yeah, he's a big guy too. Look at him. He's a chunk.
face Marcus Semien with a runner at first and 1 out. Semien's 0 for 2 with a walk today. Rio got 4 outs in the first game of the series Friday night. And starts with a slider for a strike. Brett Beatty is out on deck to pinch hit for Ibanez, and that one almost hit Semien. 98-mile-an-hour fastball running in, 1-1. Beatty didn't start today against the lefty after driving in the Mets' only run yesterday. And Semien gets a breaking ball, lines it over short, and Perdomo timed the leap to get it. Not a hard hit ball, and so Perdomo had time to adjust himself before making the leaping grab. 2 out.
Plus Perdomo's a big, tall shortstop, well over 6 feet. And you were right, Garrett. He timed it.
So the Mets are down to their final out of the afternoon. Beatty hits for Ibanez. Brett had an RBI double in the second inning against Merrill Kelly yesterday. That's all the Mets would manage. And they've managed just 1 run again today, driven in by Luis Torrens. Vientos at first with 2 out. And Beatty goes after a first pitch heater, nothing in 1. Mets took 2 out of 3 in Anaheim to start this road trip. They took 2 out of 3 in Colorado. Well, now 1 out away from dropping a series in Arizona after the Diamondbacks beat the Mets 2 out of 3 at Citi Field in the second week in April. Let's go home for 6 games starting Tuesday night against the Tigers. Miles an hour just off the plate, a ball and a strike. Beatty 0 for 3 as a pinch hitter this year. Every reason for that man to smile. What a bounce back season he's had. First 2 years in Arizona, Rodriguez had ERAs over 5. With his performance today, he'll be under 2.5. 2 balls and a strike to Beatty. MJ Melendez would pinch hit for Taylor if Beatty keeps it going. And now it's 3-1. Brett has not drawn a lot of walks this year, and Rio does not walk many. And Brett takes ball 4, and so the Mets have 2 men on. So there's a little hope in the air as MJ Melendez will bat for Tyrone Taylor. That's the 4th walk issued by Diamondbacks pitching today. So Melendez, who started yesterday's game at DH and went 0 for 3 with a walk, so got picked off first base in that game. Get a chance to keep this game moving with Carson Bench behind him. Mets need 1 more base runner to get the tying run to bat. Melendez hitting at .277. He's got 2 home runs. Vientos at second, Beatty at first, and Melendez grounds one on the right side. Marte makes the play, and the Diamondbacks take the rubber game of this series behind 8 1/3 stellar innings from Eduardo Rodriguez, 3 RBIs from the rookie Ryan Waldschmidt, and the Mets settle for a 5-4 road trip as the Diamondbacks win this one 5-1.
Yes, and a disappointing end to this road trip, and the hitting woes, Gary, just continue in this 3-game series against the Diamondbacks. Only collected 12 hits and 5 runs. Mets pitched well, but the offense has just been mired, and they didn't play good defense.
Well, the defense also betrayed the Mets today. 3 errors, a couple of other plays not made, and at a time when the team is not hitting, the Mets could not afford that, despite some fine pitching by David Peterson in the bulk role. 5 innings without allowing an earned run. The Diamondbacks win this game 5-1. There's the game summary. Rodriguez, the longest outing of his career. Mets score 5 runs in the 3 games, and they go home with a 5-4 road trip as they fall to 10 games under 500 at 15-25. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by your local tri-state area Audi dealers, by HSS #1 Orthopedics and the official hospital of the New York Mets, by Bet365 where winning is everything, and by your local Honda dealers. Contact your local Honda dealer today. Final score this afternoon: the Dbacks 5, the Mets 1. Mets are back in action on Tuesday night as they take on the Detroit Tigers at Citi Field. Freddie Peralta against Jack Flaherty. First pitch at 7:10. Coverage begins at 6:30 Tuesday night right here on SNY. Now for Keith